Hi students, this is Madhu Dharmapuri. Welcome back to the electrostatics lecture number 7, in which I am going to teach you about the applications of Gauss law in electrostatics. In the previous video lectures, I have discussed what is Gauss law and what is differential form of Gauss law. So we have seen both forms, integral form of Gauss law as well as differential form of Gauss law. And in this lecture, I am going to teach you how this Gauss law is useful to find out electric field due to a charged body or a system, charge distribution. Okay, as I said in the previous video lectures, that this law can be easily used for finding electric field due to various charged bodies or systems, even a complicated systems. Okay, then how it is used easily even for complicated systems for finding electric field, that we will discuss one after the other by taking some examples to find out electric field. So applications of Gauss law, and by using Gauss law we can find electric field strength, that is E, due to complicated systems very easily. And if you want to find out electric field strength due to charged body or system by using Gauss law, there are certain steps to be followed. Then it would be easy for you to find out electric field strength if you follow those steps. First we will see what are the steps to be followed while using Gauss law. Then if you can know those steps, then you can apply those steps in the same sequence to find out electric field due to various charged bodies or distributions when you are applying. Okay, so we will see the steps first. Steps to be followed while using Gauss law. Okay, so the first step that we have to follow is, if the problem is given to you to find out electric field due to a charged body, the first step that you have to follow when you are using Gauss law is that identify a point P at a distance of R from charged body or system. Charged body or system at which electric field is to be found. Identify a point P where you want to find out electric field at a distance of R from charged body or system. First thing you have to do is identify a point where you want to find out electric field, and that point should be at a distance of r from charged body or system. Okay, and the second step is draw a closed surface which is also called as Gaussian surface around charged body or system which passes through that point P. First step, you are identifying the point where you are finding electric field, and that point is at a distance of r from that charged body. And the second step is draw a closed surface which is called as Gaussian surface around that charged body or system which passes through that point P. The closed surface that you are drawing is passing through the point P which you have identified in step 1. Step 1 is identification of point at a distance of r from charged body. Step 2 is draw a closed surface which is passing through that point P which you have already identified in step 1. Okay, and this Gaussian surface must be around this charged body or system. Okay, so you have drawn Gaussian surface, second step is completed. Now in the third step, choose a small area element ds at point P on the Gaussian surface. See, you have drawn a closed surface which is passing through that point P around that charged body in the second step. In the third step, you are choosing a small element, that is area element ds at that particular point P on that Gaussian surface that we have drawn in the second step. This is third one. Okay, and fourth one, draw directions of electric field strength and ds area element at that point P on Gaussian surface and find angle between E and ds. Find angle between E and ds. This fourth step, what we are doing? Draw directions of electric field and area vector ds which you have chosen in the third step. At that point P, see, everything you are doing at point P only. At that point P, where is that P? On the Gaussian surface. and find angle between E and ds. If you can draw directions of E and ds, it will automatically give you the angle between electric field strength and ds. And find angle between E and ds. This is fourth step. And fifth step is find electric flux passing through small area element ds small area element ds at that point P using mathematical equation that is d pi e equal to E dot ds. This is the electric flux passing through small area element ds. Find electric flux passing through small area element ds at that point P using mathematical equation, that is this. Then find total electric flux, point number 6, find total electric flux passing through Gaussian surface or closed surface, whatever, both are same. Closed surface using mathematical equation that is pi e equal to, the total electric flux is equal to integral d pi e, which is equal to integral E dot ds. See, in the fifth step you have found only the electric flux passing through small area element ds. And in the sixth step you are integrating that so that you would get electric flux passing through entire closed surface. Pi e equal to integral E dot ds or integral d pi e. Okay. Now what you have to do is use Gauss law to find electric field strength E. Electric field strength E. How much it is? What is the Gauss law? Integral E dot ds is equal to Q by epsilon naught. So this is, you can say, seventh step. Use Gauss law to find electric field strength E, that is this one. Integral E dot ds equal to Q by epsilon naught. So this value is already known from the sixth step. You are finding total electric flux with mathematical equation integral E dot ds in the sixth step. You have some value here, and that should be equal to Q by epsilon naught according to Gauss law. Then you will get electric field strength. See, what is our aim? To find out electric field strength E using Gauss law. So these are the steps to be followed while using Gauss law to find out electric field due to a charged body or system. If you can remember all these 7 steps in sequence, then you can apply this Gauss law very easily to find out electric field due to any charged body or system. So this is the reason I want all of you to make a note of all these points by pausing this video while watching. Keep pausing, make a note of every point and watch. And try to remember every step in sequence up to the 7th step, and whenever a problem is given to you to find out electric field strength due to a charged body or system, then follow these steps one after the other in a sequence so that you would end up with the answer, that is electric field strength due to that charged body. Okay, now we will see one such example by using all these steps in sequence to find out electric field. The first application of Gauss law that I am going to discuss now is that the first application is electric field strength, or in general they ask you what is electric field. They don't use the word strength, but it means that electric field strength. But in some books it is also asked like electric field intensity. Okay, both are same. Electric field strength due to a point charge. Actually this was calculated in one of my previous video lectures, and that was also used in deriving or proving Gauss law. But here what I am doing is I am going to find out the electric field strength or electric field due to a point charge using Gauss law. Okay, so we know the answer already, but we will get the same answer by using Gauss law. Okay, so the problem given to you is that a point charge is given. A point charge is given. Okay, so point charge is taken here. For example, let me take this as some positive charge. A point charge is given, and the problem is find out electric field due to this point charge. See, we know that every electric charge, whether it is in motion or rest, it will produce electric field in the space around it. And if that is producing electric field in the space around it, how much it is? That is the question. So this is the problem given to you, and we are going to use Gauss law to find out that electric field produced by this charge. So while using Gauss law, what is the first step that we have to consider or follow? that identify a point P at a distance of small r from the charged body where you are finding electric field. Okay, so first thing I have to do is I am identifying a point. Point P is taken here at a distance of what? Small r. From where? From charged body. Identify a point P where you are finding electric field at a distance of small r from the charged body. That is the first step. That means you are finding electric field at this point P. First step is completed. Identification of point is over. What is the second step? Draw a closed surface or Gaussian surface around this charged body passing through this point is the second step. Right? So I am drawing that closed Gaussian surface around this charged body. So drawing a Gaussian surface or closed surface around the charged body passing through this point P is now done. The second step is completed. What is the third step? The third step is choose a small area element ds. Choose a small area element ds at that point P on the Gaussian surface. At that point P on the Gaussian surface. Right? So that I am taking at the point P, I am choosing one small area element ds. So this is my area ds. Let me take this as some ds. Small area element ds is chosen now. The third step is completed. That area element is at point P. What is the fourth step? Draw the directions of electric field and area element at that point P. Right? So this is a closed surface in a spherical shape. The closed surface in a spherical shape, and the small area element ds direction would be outward normal, that is this. And what is the electric field direction? This is a positive charge. So electric field direction would be this way, away from the positive charge. Right? So we have drawn the directions of electric field and area vector. Then what is the angle between E and ds? 0 degrees. The angle between E and ds is 0 degrees now. See, both are in the same direction. You can see the picture. What is the next step? Fifth step. Find electric flux passing through this small area element ds. Small area element ds, that is d pi e. How much it is? E dot ds. How to write this? EDS cos theta. What is theta? 0 degrees. So d pi e is equal to EDS cos 0 is equal to EDS This is the electric flux passing through a small area element ds that we have chosen on the Gaussian surface at that point P. The fifth step is done. What is the sixth step? You have to find out total electric flux. So this is electric flux due the electric flux passing through small area element ds. Now electric flux passing through closed surface or Gaussian surface. The total electric flux is how much? Pi E is equal to integral d pi E, right? Sixth step. Integral d pi E is what? Integral EDS, which is already calculated. Integral EDS. Now see, what is E? E is the electric field. Where? At point P. What is electric field here? Same. What is electric field here? Same. What is electric field here? Same. Electric field here? Same. Electric field is constant on the Gaussian surface, on the closed surface, because every point on the electric field on the Gaussian surface is equidistant from the charge. So everywhere electric field is constant. Electric field is constant and equal to, not constant everywhere on Gaussian surface. Is constant everywhere on Gaussian surface. Now what do we get? Pi E is equal to E integral ds. E can be written out of the integral because E is constant. Now what is integral ds? Integral ds is equal to surface area of Gaussian surface Gaussian surface is in spherical shape with radius small r, then it would be equal to 4 pi r square. See, our Gaussian surface is spherical in shape. This is Gaussian surface. Can say spherical in shape. Spherical in shape. So integral ds is 4 pi r square. So total electric flux is equal to E into 4 pi r square. This is the total electric flux passing through this Gaussian surface, which we have calculated using mathematical equation. We have not used Gauss law till now. We have calculated total electric flux passing through this Gaussian surface as E into 4 pi r square. Now what is Gauss law? By using Gauss law, now from Gauss law you can say that what is Gauss law? flux should be equal to, or integral E dot ds is equal to Q by epsilon naught. Right? Q by epsilon naught. Which means that if I give this equation number 1 and this as some 2, 1 and 2 are same. What I would get? E into 4 pi r square is equal to Q by epsilon naught. This is equal to this. Right? So let me write it. Hope this is completed. Right? So I am taking this off. So E into 4 pi r square is equal to Q by epsilon naught. Equation 1 and 2 are same. We are using Gauss law now. What is Gauss law? The total electric flux passing through the closed surface is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times the charge enclosed by the surface. Here Q is charge enclosed by Gaussian surface. Q is the charge enclosed by this Gaussian surface. So that is the reason we can write electric flux passing through this Gaussian surface as Q by epsilon naught. Right? So by this we get E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r square. Equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r square. What is its direction? In this way, everywhere away from the positive charge. Everywhere away from the positive charge. This is electric field strength due to point charge. This is electric field due to point charge. Right? And the graphical representation of this equation is like this. If this is electric field strength and this is distance r, and for r is equal to 0 or approximately 0, it will be infinity, and as r goes to infinity it will become 0. This is E proportional to 1 by r. This is the origin. E proportional to 1 by r square. E proportional to 1 by r square. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r square. For r smaller values, E is larger. For r larger values, E is smaller. So this is the graphical representation of this equation. So examinations, they ask you these kind of questions also using graphs. Electric field due to a point charge. Right? So hope you have understood. What you have to remember here is, you have to remember the steps in sequence and apply those steps in sequence for whatever the problem that you have got, then you will end up with a solution very easily. Okay, so if you have any doubts regarding this lecture, you can put your doubts under the comment section so that I would be ready to reply to your questions. Thank you very much.